Welcome to a special edition video from Pap's Drift. This is my Honda CB550. It's been sitting in a field or backyard for over a year. It's barely ridden. It is sweet. All it's got is pod filters and a 4-to-1 exhaust with silencer that's coming out for now. It had bad gas in it, so I drained the gas out of the tank and the carb. And basically I need to go through the whole system. I got it cranking. It's in time. It's got good spark. It fires on carb spray, but it doesn't run, it does hit. So I'm going to pull the carbs off, clean them out. I don't have a rebuild kit. Unfortunately, if something goes wrong, I'm going to have to get them, and it's like $200. So I'm trying to, renovate this as nicely as I can for her, as cheap as I can, so that she can sell it, unfortunately. And I really want to buy it, but I can't afford it, so this is the next best thing. So basically, it's a 1975 Honda CB550. It's a great little bike. I don't know if you know this, but they sound like Ferrari F40s, and we're going to find out if it does, because I've never actually got to hear one in person, but I got looking into it, and they sound amazing. And that's when I was like, I'll do it. Like, I can't not do it. So I'm going to get started by pulling the tank off, which is just here. You can pull this little rubber boot off, and then the tank slides off. I'm going to pull the carbs. I'm going to clean them out, hopefully not break anything. Reinstall them, put a new battery in it because the other one was toast. Try and fire it. So here we go. I don't have a stand or anything for this new camera. So you're going to see me next when I get the carbs apart, and we're going to look at them. So it'll just be real quick, real brief, but if you want to know more, we can always do another video. So, got the carbs off the bike, as you can see. Pretty damn simple. Just sprayed them off a little bit. All of this is cleaned. I'm just letting the old fuel piss out of them. The linkage is nasty. It was even worse, so I need to lubricate that. For right now, I'm not gonna take the linkage off and all that, because I just don't think it's necessary. I think I'm going to clean these jets, hopefully not have any ruined seals, which is unlikely. Take the tops off, clean the slides, lubricate all of these, just everything that moves. I'm going to check for the proper jet sizes, which is like 38 to 40 on one of them, and 105 to 115 on the other, because she has the exhaust and the pod filters, so you need to run it a bit richer because it's going to get more air through it and out of it. So I'm going to start by taking, these are just drains, I'm going to take these drains out and take the bowls off, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so as you can see, we got our first one stripped. Jet's out. The seals still are like functionable. Like, they actually don't look the worst. If it would focus. There we go. So they're hopefully all going to be like that, and I can reuse them. I think this is what's plugged right here. Get bad gas, and if you can see those micro little ports that fuel come out of, that's our problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray some carb spray on this, blow it, all of these jets out. I'm gonna take and chuck the float pin in a drill and just use some Scotch-Brite on it or something to make it smoother, because it was sticky. Then I'm gonna do the tops, the slides, and we're gonna clean all that out, blow it all out, and move to the next one. Before we do that, I'm going to set the float height, which is 22 millimeters. From here, calipers to 22 millimeters, and we're just going to measure it and bend it until it's perfect. And that'll pretty much be it. So. I'm on the last carb. It's been a breeze so far. I actually learned a really cool trick. One of the float bowl gaskets was way too big because it sucked up all the oils and stuff, and it's old. And I was like, great, I'm gonna have to sketch it back together for now. Did an internet search, and if you put the gasket in boiling water in a pan, I did mine 3 times to make sure it gets most of the oil out and shrinks it. So that's pretty sweet. It's a good trick, and it worked. I don't know if you can see this, but this is a jet. and it is a 40. This is a 4115 jetted carb setup. See all those little tiny holes? I'm trying to get this thing to focus for you guys. There we go. There's gunk and crap all through there. The real test would be if you could see light through that, and it's completely blocked. So carb clean it, blow it out, do the light check. If it's good, it's good. Do that to all of them. Clean the whole carb, pull the tops off, clean those, pull the screws out of the sides, air fuel screws, clean them. You're good to go. That's what I've been doing, all of them. We're on the last one. Might reinstall them on the bike tonight, and then in the morning get up and cranking this thing. But I'll just get back to you when I'm all done with it. I think you saw the time lapse with it. So yeah, with doing it. So yeah, I mean, you get the gist. Ooh, hey, what's up, guys? So it is day 2 of the carburetor rebuild and just getting this bike running. We had a pretty successful night last night. I mean, I guess we'll find out in a minute. Carbs are totally cleaned. I'm going to clean the outsides up a little bit more, but the jets are all cleaned out. All of the air fuel mixture screws and, you know, main jets, secondary jets, floats, all the needles, everything's nice and working free and working as it should. So the only concerns I have was I had one sketchy float bolt O-ring. All of them are kind of old, but just for this purpose, if they work, they work. But it was way too big because it had sucked up all the oils. And so I was going to have to cut it and, you know, shorten it about an inch. And then RTV, the little spot where I put it in there, because I was like, I'm not spending $55 for a seal if it, you know, it's not my bike. If it was my bike, I'd freaking do it. I'd just get whole rebuild kits for all of them. But it doesn't need that. It really just needs to run and run good and not weak for the next owner. So looked it up, did a quick search, ended up finding, my light is killing me right now, a thread online really quick, took like 2 seconds, where you boil water and you throw the gasket in there. When it basically gets so hot, it like releases all the chemicals and the oils out of the rubber and it shrinks it. And I did that a few times. It was saying to put the boiling water in a separate thing with the O-ring, and that kind of worked, but I ended up being like, I don't want to do this again. So I just threw it in the boiling water and then I let it sit for like 10 minutes, and it actually shrunk it about half an inch to where I was able to squeeze it in there and then take some, I always use this, it's a assembly goo. It's like a really thick transmission assembly lube for most seals and O-rings and stuff, because it really, when you need it to hold in place, is sticky. It's not like grease where it kind of just smears over. It's like sticky. So yeah, but that's the only concerns. Oh, my wife's up. Set. I need to bench sink these carbs so I don't have to vacuum sink them on the bike, hopefully. Basically what you do, I saw this on Octane Academy's YouTube video. The guy has everything. He saved my ass on this. All the little details that you worry about, he covers, so thanks, dude. And you stick an 1/8 inch drill bit under the slide and you touch the needle, if that makes sense. The needle in there that slides up and down, touch it. And this one's actually pretty good already. Somebody's definitely been in these carbs within the last 10 years because if they're rejetted, and there's a few kind of odd things about them, but basically you stick that in there and you adjust these screws so that they're all flowing the same. And it looks like I'm not going to have to adjust these very much. 3 and 4 are definitely a little tight for whatever reason, so we're gonna even those up, and then we're gonna get them on the bike right after I put new fuel line on it. I let these sit in, I don't have WD-40, but I had some stolen chainsaw lubrication, so that'll do. And so yeah, let's get them bench synced really quick and see if this thing fires. Okay, so as you can see, the carbs are back on the bike. I haven't tested them yet. I actually just put a new battery in it and I had to run to the store because her old battery is a lead acid battery. I don't even know where I put it because it is terrifying. It's in a box somewhere. You fill them with water and they vent, and it was just deader than a doornail. They go bad really easy. So I got a new sealed battery. Should be a lot more reliable, shouldn't die as easy, isn't gonna sizzle and blow up, hopefully. It was a little bigger, so I kind of had to, you know, adjust some stuff, and I had to make a bigger ground cable. I just ran it through the air box that's not getting used. If it was my bike, I'd get rid of all this shit, but it's not. So power, ground, crimped them the right way. I didn't use the solder block or anything, but you know, it's a lot more legit than what was on there. So carbs are hooked up. I just ran fuel hose. I still need to button it up a little bit, but can't really see. There's a new fuel filter, fuel rated hose for 3 and 4. and then here's 1 and 2. It kind of swoops down, goes up in there. There's clamps on everything, which there wasn't before. Pretty confident about that. It's the right size. It's got the stock plugs in it. I know 1 and 4 are clean. The other 2 are probably coated in oil and all kinds of shit. But for now, I'm going to key it, make sure none of the electrical's smoking or any of that shit. Because whoever wired this bike is sketchy as hell. And then hopefully, I haven't even checked the fuses for any of the lights and shit. That doesn't matter. Then we'll do an oil filter, fresh oil with correct additive, actual wet clutch oil. For now, we just got to make sure it runs. Then it's going to get new plugs, oil filter. Going to lube all the cables because they're very sticky and dry. Let's hope the new power source works. Let's hope it doesn't catch on fire. Cross your fingers.